I was running late. Again. It was a Tuesday morning in Seattle, and I'd overslept by 45 minutes. My alarm had gone off, I'd hit snooze, and somehow I'd fallen back into a deep sleep that left me scrambling at 8:47 for a meeting that started at 9 o'clock. I'm Owen Mitchell, 28 years old, and I work as a marketing manager for a tech startup downtown. I'd moved to Seattle 2 years ago from Austin, chasing a job opportunity and trying to escape a relationship that had imploded spectacularly. I threw on the first clean shirt I could find, grabbed my laptop bag, and ran out of my apartment building. The bus stop was 3 blocks away. I could make it if I sprinted. I was halfway down the second block when I saw her. A woman standing on the corner, frantically waving her phone in the air like she was trying to get a signal. She had auburn hair that fell in waves past her shoulders, and even from a distance, I could see the frustration on her face. As I got closer, she looked up and our eyes met. "Excuse me," she called out. "Do you know if there's a bus that goes downtown from here?" I slowed to a stop, checking my watch. 8:52. If I helped her, I'd definitely be late. If I didn't, I'd feel guilty all day. "The 49 stops here," I said. "But it only comes every 20 minutes and it just left 5 minutes ago." Her face fell. "You're kidding." "I wish I was. Do you need to get downtown?" "I have a job interview at 9:15. First one I've gotten in 2 months. And my car just died 3 blocks that way." She pointed behind her. "Battery's completely dead and I can't get a rideshare because my phone's almost out of battery and it won't connect." I looked at her. Really looked at her. She was wearing a navy blue blazer and dress pants, professional and put together despite the obvious stress. She had green eyes that were currently filled with panic. I made a decision. "I'm driving downtown. I can give you a lift." "What?" "No, I can't ask you to do that." "You didn't ask." I offered. "And I'm going there anyway. My car's just around the corner." "Are you sure?" "I don't want to make you late." I was already going to be late, but something about the desperate hope in her expression made me want to help. "I'm sure. Come on." We walked quickly to my car, a slightly beat-up Honda that had seen better days. "Sorry about the mess," I said, shoving some fast food wrappers and a coffee cup into the back seat. I wasn't exactly expecting passengers. "Are you kidding? You're literally saving my life right now. I don't care if there's a family of raccoons living in here." I laughed as I started the car. "Luckily, I evicted them last week." She smiled for the first time. "I'm Harper, by the way. Harper Cole." "Owen Mitchell. Nice to meet you, Harper." "Nice to meet you too. And seriously, thank you. You have no idea how much this means." As I pulled into traffic, Harper relaxed slightly in the passenger seat. "So what's the interview for?" I asked. "Marketing coordinator at a design firm called Cascade Creative. It's kind of my dream job. I've been freelancing for the past 6 months since I moved here from Portland, and this would be my first real position." "What brought you to Seattle?" She hesitated. "Needed a fresh start. Portland had too many memories." The way she said it told me there was a story there, probably one involving an ex. I recognized the tone because I'd used it myself plenty of times. "I get that," I said. "I moved here from Austin 2 years ago for similar reasons. Bad breakup. The worst. 5-year relationship that ended with her telling me she'd been seeing someone else for the last year." "Ouch. That's brutal. What about you?" Harper was quiet for a moment. 3-year relationship. He had some issues, addiction stuff. I tried to help for 2 years. Finally realized I was sacrificing myself trying to save someone who didn't want to be saved. "I'm sorry. That's really hard." It was. But I'm better now. Or I'm getting there, anyway. She looked out the window. Moving here was supposed to be a fresh start. New city, new opportunities. Except I've been struggling to find work and my car is falling apart and I'm running out of savings. Hence the job interview being so important. We drove in comfortable silence for a few minutes. I was hyper-aware of her presence in my car. The way she nervously tapped her fingers on her knee. The subtle scent of her perfume. Something floral and light. "Where's your interview?" I asked as we got closer to downtown. Pike Street. Near the market. Perfect. That's only a few blocks from my office. I pulled up in front of Cascade Creative at 9:10. Harper let out a breath of relief. You made it with 5 minutes to spare, I said. Thanks to you. She unbuckled her seatbelt and turned to face me. Owen, I can't thank you enough. You literally saved me. Happy to help. Good luck with the interview. Thanks. She opened the door, then paused. Can I buy you coffee sometime? To say thank you properly? My heart did a weird skip. You don't have to do that. I want to. If you want to, no pressure. I looked at her, at the hopeful expression on her face, at the way she was biting her lower lip nervously. Yeah, I said. I'd like that. Great. She pulled out her phone. Can I get your number? We exchanged numbers. Harper got out of the car, gave me a little wave, and disappeared into the building. I sat there for a moment, staring at her contact info in my phone, wondering what the hell just happened. Then I drove to my office, walked into my meeting 20 minutes late, and couldn't focus on a single word anyone said because all I could think about was Harper. Harper texted me that afternoon. I got the job. Starting Monday. Thank you again for the lift. Coffee this weekend. I responded immediately. That's amazing. Congrats. And yes, coffee sounds great. We made plans for Saturday morning at a cafe in Capitol Hill. I spent the next 3 days trying not to overthink it. It was just coffee. A thank you from someone I'd helped out. Nothing more. Except I couldn't stop thinking about her. The way she'd laughed at my raccoon joke. The warmth in her green eyes. The fact that she'd been through something hard and was trying to rebuild her life. Just like me. Saturday morning arrived. I changed my outfit 3 times before settling on jeans and a button-down shirt. Casual but not too casual. I got to the cafe 15 minutes early and immediately regretted it. Now I had to sit here looking like an eager puppy. Then Harper walked in and I forgot to be self-conscious. She was wearing jeans and a soft gray sweater, her hair down and slightly wavy. She looked beautiful. Hey, she said, sliding into the seat across from me. Sorry if I'm late. I wasn't sure how long the walk would take. You're not late. I was early. Good. Because I'm really bad at being on time and I didn't want to start this friendship by making you wait. She paused. We are friends, right? I didn't totally misread the vibe. We're definitely friends. She smiled, and I felt something warm settle in my chest. We ordered coffee and spent the next 2 hours talking. About everything. Work, family, why we'd both chosen marketing as careers, our favorite movies, the best pizza in Seattle. Okay, but you can't seriously think pineapple belongs on pizza, Harper said at one point. It absolutely belongs on pizza. Sweet and savory is a perfect combination. That's chaos. You're a chaos agent. I prefer culinary visionary. She laughed, and I realized I loved making her laugh. Around noon, Harper's phone buzzed. She glanced at it and her expression changed. Became guarded. Everything okay? I asked. Yeah, just my ex. He texted. The one from Portland? Yeah, Kyle. He does this sometimes. Reaches out saying he's doing better. Asking if we can talk. And do you? Talk to him? Not anymore. I used to. Every time he'd promise he was getting clean, I'd believe him. But it was always temporary. He'd be good for a few weeks, then he'd relapse and disappear. The cycle just kept repeating. That must have been exhausting. It was. I loved him, but I couldn't save him. And staying was destroying me. She looked at me. Have you talked to your ex since you moved? Not really. We had a few awkward text exchanges when I was packing up my stuff. But after I left Austin, we cut contact. It was easier that way. Do you miss her? I thought about it. I miss what I thought we had, but I don't miss her. Does that make sense? Perfect sense. Harper took a sip of her coffee. I think I'm finally at that point too. Missing the idea of what we could have been, but not missing the reality of what it was. That's growth. Therapy, she corrected with a smile. Lots and lots of therapy. We left the cafe and walked through Capitol Hill. talking and laughing like we'd known each other for years instead of days. "This was really nice," Harper said when we eventually stopped at a park. "I haven't felt this comfortable with someone in a long time." "Me neither." She looked at me, and there was something in her expression that made my heart race. "Owen, can I be honest about something?" "Always. When you picked me up on Tuesday, I thought you were just a nice guy doing a good deed. But sitting here with you now, I'm realizing I really like you. And I don't know if that's weird to say after one coffee date that wasn't technically a date, but I wanted you to know." I stepped closer. "It's not weird, because I really like you too. I haven't been able to stop thinking about you since Tuesday." "Really? Really?" She smiled. "So what do we do now?" "I think we should go on an actual date. Like a real one where we both know it's a date going into it." "I'd like that. Dinner tomorrow night?" "Yes." I walked Harper to the bus stop. Before she got on, she stood on her toes and kissed my cheek. "See you tomorrow, Owen." "See you tomorrow, Harper." The bus pulled away and I stood there like an idiot, grinning at nothing. I had a date with Harper Cole, and I had the feeling that giving her a ride that Tuesday morning was going to turn out to be the best decision I'd ever made. Our first official date was at an Italian restaurant in Fremont. Harper wore a dark green dress that made her eyes look even more striking. I wore the one suit I owned and felt simultaneously overdressed and underdressed. "You look amazing," I said when I picked her up from her apartment. "So do you." "Very handsome." At dinner, we fell into the same easy conversation we'd had at coffee. But there was something different now. An electricity in the air. The knowledge that this was going somewhere. "Tell me something nobody else knows about you," Harper said over pasta. "Like what?" "I don't know. A secret. A dream. Something you don't usually share." I thought about it. "I want to write a book." "Really? What kind of book?" "I don't know yet. Maybe memoir, maybe fiction. But I've always felt like I have stories in me that need to get out. I just haven't been brave enough to actually try." "Why not?" "Fear, mostly. Fear that I'm not good enough. That I'll put all this work in and it'll be terrible. Or it could be amazing and you'll never know unless you try." "What about you? What's your secret dream?" Harper twirled pasta on her fork. "I want to start my own design agency. Not work for someone else, but build something that's mine. Create a space where creativity actually matters more than profit margins." "That sounds incredible." "It's also terrifying. And expensive. And probably years away from being realistic. But you could do it. I can tell." "How can you tell?" "Because you're the kind of person who gets a job interview 15 minutes before it starts and still shows up on time because a stranger gave you a ride. You're resourceful. You're determined. You can do anything." She smiled. "You barely know me and you have that much faith in me?" "I know enough." After dinner, we walked along the waterfront. The city lights reflected on the water, and the air was cool but not cold. "I'm having a really good time," Harper said. "Me too. Can I tell you something that might scare you away?" My chest tightened. "Okay. I'm not great at taking things slow. When I feel something, I feel it intensely. And I'm feeling something with you. Something real. And that scares me because the last time I felt something real, it ended badly. It scares me too. But I'm feeling it too." She stopped walking and turned to face me. "So what do? We be honest with each other. We take it one day at a time. And we don't run just because we're scared. Can you promise me something?" "What?" "If this gets too hard, if I'm too much or you're not feeling it anymore, you'll tell me. You won't just disappear or lie or string me along. You'll be honest." "I promise." "Same goes for you." "Deal." I kissed her then. Right there on the waterfront with the city lights around us. It was soft and sweet and perfect. When we pulled apart, Harper was smiling. "That was a really good first kiss," she said. "Just good." "Okay, amazing. Don't let it go to your head." Too late. Over the next few weeks, Harper and I fell into a relationship. We saw each other almost every day. Dinner after work. Weekend hikes. Lazy Sunday mornings at my apartment or hers. I met her friends. A tight-knit group of women she'd met through work who immediately interrogated me about my intentions. We're just making sure you're not a serial killer, her friend Jenna said. I'm not. That's what a serial killer would say. Fair point. Harper met my friends too. My roommate Derek and his girlfriend Amy. My college buddy Marcus, who'd moved to Seattle around the same time I did. She's great, Derek told me after Harper left one night. Don't screw this up. Thanks for the vote of confidence. I'm serious. You've been different since you met her. Happier. Like you finally moved on from Sarah. Sarah, my ex from Austin. I'd barely thought about her in weeks. I think I have moved on, I said. Good. Harper's a keeper. Everything was going perfectly. Too perfectly, maybe, because I kept waiting for something to go wrong. Started small. Harper would sometimes get distant. She'd be laughing and engaged one moment, then suddenly quiet and withdrawn the next. What's wrong? I'd ask. Nothing. Just tired. But I could tell it was more than that. One evening, we were at her apartment making dinner when her phone rang. She looked at the screen and her face went pale. I need to take this, she said, stepping into her bedroom. I tried not to eavesdrop, but her apartment was small and the walls were thin. Kyle, I told you to stop calling me. Pause. No, I don't want to meet up. Longer pause. That's not my responsibility anymore. Another pause. I hope you get help, I really do. But I can't be part of it. She came back out looking shaken. Kyle? I asked. Yeah. He's in Seattle. Says he wants to see me. That he's been clean for 3 months and wants to prove he's changed. What did you tell him? No, obviously. But he's persistent. He keeps saying if I just give him one chance to talk face to face, he'll leave me alone after that. You don't owe him anything. I know. But part of me feels guilty. Like maybe if I just meet him once, hear him out, he'll finally accept that we're done. That's a bad idea. I know that too. But he knows I'm in Seattle now. What if he just shows up? Then we deal with it. Together. She looked at me with such relief. You'd do that? Help me deal with my mess of an ex. You're not a mess. And yes, I do that. That's what being in a relationship means. She hugged me tight. Thank you. But Kyle didn't give up. Over the next week, he texted Harper constantly. Called from different numbers when she blocked him. Even showed up at Cascade Creative one afternoon, though security didn't let him in. This is harassment, I said after Harper told me about the office incident. You should get a restraining order. For what? He hasn't threatened me. He's just persistent. Persistent is one word for it. Harper was getting more stressed. I could see it in the tension